Problem solvers celebrate God as their greatest gift. So if you have gifts in your life, okay, some of these points you'll see an overlap, okay, with what Pastor Derek has been sharing, and that's why I said our God is an orderly God. He is a very systematic God. I think some of you missed the points, so he's brought me back here again, and he's saying, please repeat, make sure that they don't miss it. Okay, so number 2 is problem solvers celebrate God as their greatest gift. Which means that if you have a gift in your life, which I am sure you have, okay, some of you may be good in writing, some of you may be good in cooking, baking, some of you, those are the physical gifts. Some of you may be good in encouraging somebody else. Some of you may be good in singing and leading people into worship. There are so many gifts. There are so many gifts. But the problem solver is the one who is not chasing after the gifts. He is the one who values the presence of God more than all his gifts. He is the one who is so excited. Every time he is in the presence of God, every time the problem solver is in the company of people who love God, who are pursuing his presence, he is so excited. The way you walk in the church is different. The way you give is different. The way you worship is different. Because you are not coming to a church, you're not coming to a meeting to receive. You're not coming to multiply your gift. But you are the one, the real problem solver. You consider the presence of the Lord as your greatest gift. You enjoy God so much that you are not bothered, about what others are thinking about you. This was not the case with Samson. God gave Samson a gift. And the gift was given so that Samson falls in love with Jesus. The gift is given in our life so that we fall in love with the giver of the gift. But what did Samson do? He showed off his gift. Ideally, he should have been showing off his God. That's why his destiny was cut off. He could have ruled for many years as a judge. He could have done such mighty exploits, but he was so impressed in his gift that he forgot the giver of the gift. He forgot that it's the giver of the gift who is most important. He's the one who chisels you. He's the one who makes sure that your legs are grown enough, your character is big enough, your integrity is strong enough that now you are able to fit in the shoes of the Father. Otherwise, you'll trip. But if you look at David, this is the testimony of one of the servants of Saul, okay? This is 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 18. When one of the servants of the then King Saul met, Saul was having a problem. He was having a problem with demons. And he was searching for somebody who could solve this problem. And Saul's servant, he says, I know a man, I know a problem solver. That should be your testimony. When people around you are in problems, when you have, cases in your office when nobody can solve it. Your boss should say, hey, WhatsApp this girl. I know she will be able to handle it. I know she will be able to close it to perfection. Why? Is it because you are skilled? No. Samson was skilled. He had a gift. But what was David's testimony? Look at this. 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 18. Then one of the servants answered and said, "Look, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, who is," okay, gift number one, who is skillful in playing. Number two, he is a mighty man of valor. Number three, he is a man of war. Number four, he is prudent in speech. Number five, and a handsome person. And number six, and the most important, and the Lord is with him. I'm telling you, when God looks for somebody to work, He is not looking at a skilled person. He is looking at somebody who can be with Him. Because if He chooses, when God, He picks up somebody to do His task, He's always looking at a weaker vessel in the sense, somebody who is so weak, so dependent, that He knows that in order for him to succeed, he has to be with God. Are you getting it? This was David's testimony. He had so many other qualities, but the one thing that kept him above everything else was the fact that the Lord is with him. That's how he became the right problem solver. Trust me, I'm sure in Saul's kingdom, there would have been a lot of men who were skillful in playing. I'm sure there must be a lot of people who spoke well, who were prudent in their speech. I'm sure there would have been a lot of people who were mighty in valor, who were men of war. But the one thing that separated David from everybody else was that the Lord was with him. That's the thing. The word of the Lord says, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." The Lord never lets go of us. The problem is we let go of Him. The Lord is with you, but are you with the Lord? That is what I'm, trying to trigger in you. So the second thing, David was celebrated as a problem solver. He was picked because the Lord was with him. The reason Joseph was picked, he went from one problem to the other. So many problems he went through. But because the Lord was with him, he made sure that his life became so big. He grew so big that the entire country's problem he was able to solve. If God can do that with a Joseph, tell me, why can't He do it with you and I? If God can choose a Joseph and be with him, and Joseph is wise enough to be with God, and God can use him to solve not one person's problem, not two persons' problem, not a community's problem, but an entire nation's problem. Why can't He do it through you? Why can't He do it through me? Problem is, are we with Him? Are we with Him? He is the biggest problem solver. Do we celebrate the problem solver? We are so worried about our skills. We are so worried about getting the right education and the right degrees and doing the right courses and making sure that now we learn about AI and ChatGPT, everything. We want to be up there so that we are not lagging behind. Those are gifts. Don't forget the giver of gifts, because that is what will give you an edge above everybody else. There'll be hundreds of people, hundreds of girls who will be experts in ChatGPT. But because the Lord was with Nadia, because the Lord was with Neha, she got promoted. So that's the key.